All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a place that totally defies simple definition. We're looking at a country where geography, biology, and human history just collide in the most spectacular ways imaginable. If you think you've got a good handle on world geography, well, let's see what happens when we unpack the sheer scale and wonder of Indonesia.
Picture this for a second. A country that's home to actual living dragons. A nation sitting right on top of 130 restless, smoking volcanoes that can literally create new landscapes overnight. A place fragmented into over 17,000 separate islands. I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a fantasy novel, doesn't it? But this is 100% real. We're dealing with a nation of absolute extremes today, and to truly understand it, we need to break the whole shebang down.
So, let's kick things off with Chapter 1, A Land of Extremes.
To really grasp the vibe of this country, you've got to look at its spot on the map. Situated right in the heart of Southeast Asia, Indonesia isn't just a country. It's the world's largest archipelago. Get this, 17,000 islands. Yeah, 17,000. Just to put that massive scale into perspective for you, if you decided to visit one new Indonesian island every single day, it would literally take you more than 46 years to see them all. Crazy, right? This vast network acts as a huge bridge between the Indian and Pacific Oceans, and that totally dictates its climate, its history, and its incredible biodiversity.
But, these aren't just your standard, quiet tropical getaways. They hide a much more volatile reality, 130 active volcanoes. Because the country sits smack dab on the Pacific Ring of Fire, it is arguably one of the most geologically active spots on the planet. These aren't just sleeping mountains, they're incredibly powerful forces of nature that are constantly reshaping the landscape. These eruptions can actually birth entirely new islands straight out of the sea. It's a fiery, extreme environment that might seem totally inhospitable, but as we know, nature always finds a way.
Which brings us to Chapter 2, Rare and Wild Creatures.
So because this fiery, fragmented landscape is separated by deep ocean trenches, evolution here has taken some wildly fascinating turns. All that isolation makes it the absolute perfect breeding ground for some of the rarest creatures you'll ever see. In one corner, you've got a creature pulled straight out of a prehistoric nightmare, the terrifying Komodo dragon. It's the world's largest lizard, a true apex predator that perfectly captures the raw, untamed nature of this environment. But then, deep in the wild jungles of Borneo and Sumatra, you find a totally different evolutionary path, the orangutan. These super-intelligent, gentle great apes share so much in common with us. It's an intense biological diversity that is genuinely hard to wrap your head around.
Moving right along to Chapter 3, Centuries of Deep Culture. Beyond the wild geography and the animals, the human element of Indonesia has literally shaped the world we live in today. Think about the cloves and nutmeg sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. Go check. There's a massive probability those exact spices trace their roots back to this one nation, which, by the way, still produces most of the global supply. Centuries ago, European explorers mapped the globe, braved terrifying oceans, and literally fought wars just to find a route to the islands that produce these specific spices. They were absolute game changers.
And all of that geographical isolation and history, it resulted in something truly incredible. Over 700 distinct spoken languages across the archipelago. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. We're not just talking about local accents or dialects, we mean entirely unique languages. When you have humans living on thousands of different islands, separated by massive volcanic mountain ranges and dense jungles, unique cultures just have the space to develop and thrive totally independently of one another. It's basically an anthropologist's ultimate dream.
All right, let's hit our final section, Chapter 4, From Temples to Megacities.
Now, Indonesia definitely isn't a place stuck in the past. It showcases this incredible spectrum of human achievement, going from the ancient spiritual world straight into the ultra-modern, hyper-connected present day. You've got the pristine, world-famous beaches of Bali acting as the ultimate island paradise. Then, the rugged, untouched wild jungles of Sumatra and Borneo. And right alongside all of that, you have the massive, towering urban sprawl of Jakarta. All of these wildly different realities coexist within the exact same borders.
The contrast is honestly staggering. Picture this. You could spend your morning walking through Borobudur, which happens to be the world's largest Buddhist temple, soaking in this ancient spiritual tranquility, perfectly aligned with the cosmos and covered in intricate stone carvings. And then, by evening, you could be navigating the bustling, hyper-modern energy of Jakarta, one of the biggest cities on Earth. It's this continuous, dizzying shift between centuries-old stone monuments and a booming metropolis of millions.
So what does this all mean? Well, Indonesia truly is the ultimate tapestry of extremes. It's not just a country, it's honestly a world within a world.
From those 17,000 islands and 130 restless volcanoes constantly reshaping the Earth, to the stark contrast of fearsome Komodo dragons and gentle orangutans. It's a place where 700 languages echo through the very jungles that gave the world its most prized spices. It is a place where ancient spiritual monuments stand in the exact same nation as sprawling modern megacities. It's an unmatched global marvel, for sure.
So I've got to ask you, which fact surprised you the most? Was it the sheer mind-boggling number of islands, the scale of all those active volcanoes, or maybe just the fact that your everyday kitchen spices caused global empires to race across the ocean? Take a moment to think about your favorite takeaway from today's explainer. Let your curiosity run wild and keep exploring the amazing intricacies of our world. Thanks so much for hanging out and learning with me today. Catch you next time.